It's about two people who came from Africa with almost nothing. They were both married, and their experience was unbelievably difficult. Not because they were immigrants to the United States and not because they were from Africa, but because these two people, man and woman, both married, they were deaf. They couldn't hear. So when they got to the United States, they couldn't talk to the mailman. They couldn't talk to the woman at the checkout counter. They couldn't talk to their pastor. They couldn't talk to hardly anybody without having to write things down on paper, without having to go through some really serious challenges to get people to even take them seriously. And for years, they struggled. It was really hard to communicate to people in the United States. And then over time, things started to change. First, they had some kids. And like a lot of people would do, they use their kids to help interpret. Sometimes they would go to parent teacher conferences and the kid would actually interpret for the parents while they're in the middle of the parent teacher conferences. Can you imagine how that would feel if you were interpreting for your teacher and your parent and they're talking about you in that moment? But that's what they had to do. But over time, things got a little bit easier. And what they learned was the ability to communicate to people with confidence and clarity, even though they couldn't speak the language, how to command the room and demand that people pay attention to what they're saying, not because they're egotistical, but because they're a person and what they say matters. Being more confident and more definitive about every word that they said, even if they're not speaking it at all.